If you are watching this right now, there is a good chance you know this moment too well. It is 2, maybe 3 in the morning. The room is silent. Your body feels exhausted, but your mind refuses to switch off. You stare at the ceiling. You turn to one side, then to the other. You sigh. You check the clock again, and you wonder quietly, why is this happening to me? You are tired, but your brain is wide awake. And let me tell you something very important, something I want you to hear with your whole heart. This is not just age, and this is not bad luck. For many years, seniors have been told that poor sleep is simply a part of getting older, that waking at 3 in the morning is normal, that broken sleep is something you must learn to accept. But I have seen too many people regain deep, peaceful sleep to believe that story anymore. And what surprises most of them is that the solution often begins in the smallest, most ordinary place of all, right there, in a tiny brown jar in the kitchen. Cinnamon. Yes, the same cinnamon you may already have at home without even realizing how powerful it truly is. Most people who struggle with sleep after 60 have already tried everything. They have tried sleeping pills that leave them foggy the next morning. They have tried melatonin that works for a week and then stops. They have tried herbal teas that taste nice but rarely solve the real problem. And night after night, they are still awake. But tonight, you are going to learn a very specific way to use cinnamon that helps the body enter deep sleep naturally. No pills, no strange tricks. Just a simple ritual that works with your body instead of fighting it. And before we go any further, if you would like me to send you a small gift to guide your sleep routine more deeply, write in the comments right now, I want to improve my health. Now let me explain what is really happening inside your body. The true problem behind most cases of insomnia in seniors is not that you cannot sleep. It is that your nervous system is overstimulated and your blood sugar becomes unstable during the night. In the evening, many people experience gentle rises in glucose after dinner. Then, in the early hours of the morning, usually around 2 or 3, that sugar drops too quickly. And when it does, your body panics, your heart speeds up, your brain receives an alarm signal, stress hormones rise, cortisol floods your system, and suddenly you are awake. Your body is tired, but your chemistry is wired. Add to this a lifetime of worry, responsibility, and subconscious vigilance, and your nervous system never fully learns how to power down at night. This is where cinnamon becomes so important, because cinnamon has a rare combination of effects that directly target the 3 main sleep disruptors in seniors. It calms the nervous system, it stabilizes blood sugar through the night, and it sends a powerful signal of safety to the brain. Inside cinnamon are natural compounds called polyphenols. Think of them as tiny messengers that quiet inflammation and soften nerve activity. Cinnamon also gently guides blood sugar so that it does not spike and crash while you sleep. That alone is enough to prevent many of those sudden 3 a.m. awakenings. And then there is the aroma. That warm, familiar scent doesn't just smell comforting, it travels directly to the emotional center of your brain, the limbic system, where fear and relaxation are processed. To your nervous system, the smell of cinnamon quietly says, you are safe now, you can rest. When blood sugar is steady, when cortisol stays low, when the brain feels safe, the body remains longer in deep sleep. And now, before I show you exactly how to use cinnamon tonight, I want to prepare the ground properly. Timing matters. The 2 to 3 hours before bed are the most sacred hours for your sleep chemistry. This is the window when the nervous system decides whether the night will be peaceful or restless. Many people unknowingly sabotage this window by adding cinnamon to very late heavy meals, by mixing it with sugar, or by combining it with coffee, black tea, or stimulating drinks. None of that allows the body to rest. What we want instead is what I call a window of calm, a gentle, quiet stretch of the evening where lights soften, screens disappear, and the body is guided slowly toward rest. And within this window, you will use 3 very specific cinnamon drinks, each with a different purpose. plus 1 bonus aroma ritual for those who cannot drink late at night. Tonight, I want you to stop guessing and start using cinnamon in very specific ways that work with your body, not against it. And we will begin with the most powerful one of all. Now we come to the heart of tonight's lesson, the ritual I trust the most, the one I have seen work again and again for seniors who thought their sleep was broken forever. I call it the warm cinnamon sleep milk. It may sound simple, too simple perhaps, but the most powerful things in nature often are. All you need is warm milk. This can be regular cow's milk if you tolerate it well, or oat milk, or almond milk. Choose the one your body feels best with. Into that warm milk, you add half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon, not cassia. Ceylon is softer, gentler, and much safer for daily use. And if you like, just a small teaspoon of raw honey for taste. That is all. Now let me explain why this combination is so powerful for your sleep. Inside milk is a natural compound called tryptophan. Tryptophan is the doorway your body uses to create serotonin. And serotonin is what your body uses to make melatonin. Melatonin is your natural sleep hormone, the one your brain produces when it feels safe, when it feels nourished, when it feels calm. Milk also contains calcium, which your nervous system needs to relax properly. Without enough calcium signaling, the nerves stay a little too alert. Now here is where cinnamon completes the circle. Cinnamon gently calms the nervous system. It softens that inner trembling that many seniors do not even realize they are carrying. Cinnamon also stabilizes blood sugar through the night. So instead of a sudden drop at 2 or 3 in the morning that shocks you awake, your levels stay smooth and steady. No alarm, no panic, no racing thoughts, just rest. This is not sedation, this is restoration. Now let me walk you through the ritual itself, because how you do this matters just as much as what you drink. First, warm your milk slowly. Do not boil it. Just warm it until it feels comforting in your hands. Then stir in your cinnamon gently. Watch the color deepen. Breathe in that soft, sweet aroma. If you choose to add honey, this is the moment. Now take the cup in both hands, sit quietly, and take your first sip slowly. Do not rush it. Let the warmth move down your chest. Let your shoulders drop without you forcing them. This drink is not something you chug. It is something you receive. You drink this 20 to 30 minutes before you go to bed, not while scrolling on your phone, not while watching the evening news. You drink it as the day is closing, and it must be a small cup, not a giant mug. We are sending a message to the body, not filling the stomach. Now let me share with you a story that still stays with me. There was a gentleman in his early 70s who came to see me after more than a decade of sleeping pills. Every night, the same routine. Without them, he could not sleep at all. With them, he slept, but he woke up heavy, dull, and disconnected. He told me, "Barbara, I sleep, but I never rest." We began with this same ritual: warm milk, cinnamon, every single night. The first night, he slept a little longer. The third night, he forgot to take his pill because he had already fallen asleep. After 2 weeks, he was sleeping without medication for the first time in 12 years. What touched me most was not just that he slept, it was that he told me, "I no longer feel afraid of the night." That is what this ritual restores, a feeling of safety. Now, how do you know if this is working for you? The first sign is that you begin to fall asleep more easily, not instantly, but with less struggle. The second sign is that you wake up fewer times during the night, especially in those early morning hours. And the third sign is subtle but powerful. You wake up feeling less drugged, less heavy, less confused than you did with pills or artificial sleeping aids. That is the difference between sedation and true sleep. Now let me say something very important. If tonight you try this and you do not sleep perfectly, do not give up. Your nervous system has learned fear at night for many years. It needs gentle repetition, not pressure. This is not a trick. It is a relationship you rebuild with sleep. And this small cup is simply the first message to your body that says, you are safe now. Now, this second method is for a very specific type of sleeper. The one who says, my body is tired, but my mind will not stop. If you lie in bed replaying conversations, worrying about your children, thinking about the past, or fearing tomorrow, this method was made for you. I call it the cinnamon and chamomile night tea. It is not just a drink. It is a signal to the racing mind that the day is truly over. Here is what you use: a simple chamomile infusion, half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon, either a small stick or powder, and if you wish, 1 thin slice of fresh ginger plus a tiny squeeze of lemon. That is all. Now let me explain why this combination quiets the mind so deeply. Chamomile works primarily on the nervous system. It gently lowers anxiety without numbing you. It softens the edges of thought. It slows the inner tension that many seniors carry without realizing it. Cinnamon stabilizes blood sugar, and this is critical for the mind because when your glucose rises and crashes at night, your brain interprets it as danger. It sends an emergency signal, and suddenly your thoughts explode awake. Cinnamon removes that alarm. Now, ginger plays a quiet but important role. It relaxes the muscles of digestion. It reduces that heavy, uncomfortable pressure in the stomach and chest, and it helps the warmth of the tea travel deeper into the body. Now, here is how you prepare it. You bring water just to a gentle boil. You place your chamomile in the cup. You add the cinnamon, and if you choose the thin slice of ginger, you pour the hot water over it. Then you wait 5 minutes. 10 if you want it stronger. During that time, do not rush. Lift the cup. Inhale the steam slowly. That aroma alone already begins the calming ritual in the brain. When you drink it slowly, with awareness, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. You are teaching your nervous system that the danger has passed. This tea is especially suited for people who experience heavy digestion at night, stress stored in the chest, emotional tension, endless mental loops before sleep. Let me tell you about a woman I once worked with. She told me, "Barbara, I sleep, but my brain never does. Every night the same thoughts, the same worries, the same memories." We began this tea ritual every evening at the same hour. The first night she felt calmer. The second night she noticed the thoughts slowed. By the end of the second week, she told me something I will never forget. For the first time in years, I fell asleep without thinking. That is what this tea rebuilds, the bridge between waking and sleeping. You begin to associate this cup not with effort, but with surrender. Now, when should you drink this tea? About 30 to 45 minutes before bed, after dinner, after the lights are already lower, when your body is already beginning to soften. This tea does not force sleep, it invites it. And when the mind finally feels safe enough to stop guarding, sleep arrives on its own. Now we come to a very special method. This one is for those of you who say, "Barbara, I fall asleep just fine, but I wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning every single night." Your eyes open, your heart is suddenly alert, your body feels restless, and sleep feels like it has disappeared. This is not random. This pattern almost always points to mineral depletion and blood sugar imbalance during the night. And this is where the cinnamon banana peel drink becomes incredibly powerful. Yes, banana peel, not the fruit, not the sugar, the peel. Because the peel is rich in magnesium and potassium, 2 minerals that your muscles, heart, and nervous system depend on to stay relaxed through the night. When these minerals drop too low while you sleep, the body sends out a distress signal. Your heart speeds up, your muscles tense, your nervous system switches on, and suddenly you are awake. Now, cinnamon plays the other half of this rescue. It helps keep your blood sugar stable across the night. So instead of crashing at 2 or 3 in the morning, your body stays steady, quiet, safe. Here is how you prepare it. You take half the peel of 1 organic banana, very important, organic and well washed. You place it into a small pot with water. You add half a teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon, not more, just enough. You bring it to a gentle boil, and you let it simmer for about 10 minutes. Then you strain it. What you drink is only the tea, not the peel, no sugar, no banana pulp, just minerals, and calm. You drink this 30 to 60 minutes before bed, not immediately at bedtime. You want the minerals to enter the bloodstream before sleep begins. Now you may wonder, why not just eat the banana? Because at night, the sugar in the banana can do the opposite of what we want. It can create a glucose spike, followed by a glucose crash. And that crash is what wakes so many people in the early morning hours. This drink gives you the minerals without the sugar surge. It is ideal for people who experience restless legs at night, calf cramps, sudden heart racing during sleep, that strange sensation of being wide awake for no clear reason. I remember a gentleman who came to me exhausted every night, exactly the same time, 2:47 in the morning, like a clock inside his body. Within 1 week of this drink, he told me, for the first time in years, I slept past 3. After 2 weeks, the awakening stopped, not because we forced sleep, but because the body finally had what it had been missing. This drink does not knock you out. It rebuilds the conditions for deep sleep from the inside. Now, one important note, this drink is gentle, but it is still powerful. So you do not use it every single night forever. You use it when your body shows these early morning wake signals. And as balance returns, you step back. Because the goal is not dependence, the goal is restoration. And once those minerals are replenished, once the blood sugar stabilizes, your body remembers how to sleep on its own again. Now, I want to share something very gentle, but incredibly powerful. This is for those of you who say, Barbara, my stomach is sensitive. I don't want to drink anything else at night. I just want my bedroom to feel calm. Then this bonus ritual is for you. It is the cinnamon oil bedroom ritual. No drinking, no digestion, only breath and the nervous system. You use a simple diffuser, you add 3 to 5 drops of cinnamon essential oil, and you soften it with something gentler, either lavender or sweet orange. Why the blend is important? Because cinnamon alone is powerful. It awakens warmth. It signals safety. But lavender or orange soften the nervous system even more deeply. They tell the heart that it can slow. They tell the mind that the day is finished. Now, here is what most people do not realize. Smell travels directly to the limbic system. That is the emotional control center of the brain, the place where fear lives, the place where stress is stored, the place where sleep is either allowed or blocked. When you breathe cinnamon oil properly diluted, your cortisol, your stress hormone, begins to fall, not by force, by signal. Your brain receives the message, this environment is safe. Now, I must say something important here. There is a very big difference between a chemical air freshener and a true essential oil. Chemical sprays stimulate the nervous system. They confuse the brain. Essential oils communicate with the brain. One irritates, the other instructs. This is how you use it. About 20 minutes before bed, you turn on the diffuser. You dim the lights, you turn off the screens, and you let the room slowly fill with that soft, warm scent. Not sharp, not overwhelming, just gentle. Like the memory of a safe kitchen, like the feeling of home. Then when you get into bed, your body already knows what to do. This ritual is perfect for people with fragile digestion, people who cannot tolerate nighttime drinks, people whose insomnia is mostly emotional or nervous. And I have seen this simple aroma do something very beautiful. It does not force sleep. It removes the fear of sleep. And when fear leaves, sleep arrives naturally. Now, before you go into your kitchen and begin using cinnamon every night, I want to protect you. Because cinnamon is natural, but natural does not mean unlimited. There are 2 very different types of cinnamon in the world. Most people do not know this. The one you usually find in supermarkets is called cassia cinnamon. It is stronger in taste, but it also contains much higher levels of a compound called coumarin. Coumarin, when used in excessive amounts over time, can place strain on the liver and kidneys. The cinnamon I always recommend for nightly use is called Ceylon cinnamon. It is softer, it is sweeter, and it is much safer for regular use. Now let's talk about the daily limit, because this is very important. For continuous use, I do not recommend more than about half a teaspoon per day. That amount is more than enough to calm the nervous system, stabilize blood sugar, and support deep sleep. More is not better. More is only more. And now I must speak directly to a few of you who need extra care. If you have a sensitive liver or kidneys, if you are taking blood thinners, if you are pregnant, or if you have a very delicate stomach, you must always speak with your healthcare provider first. And when you begin, you start very small. A pinch, not a spoon. You listen to your body, because healing should never feel like punishment. Now let me share the most common mistakes I see. The first mistake is this: people turn these drinks into sugar bombs. Too much honey, fruit juices, sweet syrups, and then they wonder why their sleep gets worse. You cannot calm the brain with the same sugar that excites it. The second mistake is huge doses of cinnamon. People think if a little works, a lot must work better. But the body does not work like that. The nervous system loves balance, not force. And the final mistake, the most dangerous one, is this belief: it's natural, so it has no limits. Everything that heals can also harm when misused. Your body deserves respect, gentle guidance, not extremes. When cinnamon is used with wisdom, it becomes a doorway to rest. When it is used without care, it becomes another source of imbalance. And I do not want that for you. Now I want to speak to you very gently and very directly, because I know that many of you are carrying a quiet fear inside. The fear that says, my body no longer knows how to sleep. I have tried everything and nothing works for me. And I want you to hear this clearly from my heart to yours. You are not broken. Your body has simply forgotten the signal for sleep. And cinnamon can help restore that signal. Not by force, not like a drug, but like a memory your nervous system is finally allowed to remember again. This is not magic from one single night. This is a gentle nightly ritual repeated with consistency, patience, and trust. And this is how deep healing always happens. Not in one dramatic moment, but in small, faithful steps. So I want to invite you to do something very simple. Not tomorrow, not next week, tonight. Choose just one of the methods. The warm cinnamon milk, the chamomile cinnamon tea, the banana peel mineral drink, or the cinnamon oil bedroom ritual, just one, and let your body feel the difference. Now, if you would like my personal help and a small sleep gift that I've prepared to guide you even more deeply, write these words in the comments: I want to improve my health. When I see it, I will know you are truly ready. And of course, if this message touched your heart, please give this video a like, subscribe to this channel, and share it with another senior who lies awake at night wondering why sleep feels so far away. And now, before we part, I want you to imagine this. The room is quiet, your body is warm, there is a soft hint of cinnamon in the air, your shoulders are sinking into the bed, your breathing is slow, nothing to solve, nothing to fix, just rest, just peace, just sleep. Good night, my friend.